Came to warn you, Jack, about a potential and very serious threat to you both.
I've stolen Haynes' AI program. I want to make a deal with you. Are you interested?
The air in Genoa City crackles with a potent mix of confrontation, desperation, and long-buried secrets as we head into the final weeks of October. While the fallout from Jordan's prison break continues to send shockwaves through the Newman and Abbott families, new alliances are tested and old flames are rekindled with dangerous consequences. Over the next 2 weeks, prepare for Nick Newman to take a definitive stand, Claire Grace to make a shocking push for redemption, and a corporate battle that will leave everyone questioning their loyalties. Week 1, October 20th to 24th, The Reckoning. The week begins with the Newman family attempting to find a new, fragile equilibrium. Victor, having orchestrated Jordan's transfer and subsequent escape as a brutal lesson in family loyalty, watches his children like a hawk from his penthouse throne. He believes his method, however extreme, has finally welded them together. But the cracks are already showing, and they begin with his son, Nick. Nick's confrontation, a line in the sand. Nick Newman has always been the more emotionally intuitive of the Newman sons, often playing the peacemaker or the voice of reason. But even his considerable patience has its limits. The revelation that Victor used all of them, especially Victoria during her captivity, as pawns in his twisted game is a betrayal too far. Nick isn't just angry, he's disgusted. He confronts his father in the Newman Enterprises office, a scene charged with years of pent-up frustration. "This wasn't strategy, Dad. This was cruelty," Nick declares, his voice low and steady, belying the storm in his eyes. "You used Victoria's trauma. You made us all complicit. For what? To prove you're still the great Victor Newman?" Victor, ever the master manipulator, tries to deflect. "I did what was necessary to ensure this family's future. To make you all understand that against an external threat, we are one." "But the threat was you," Nick fires back. "You created the test. You put us all in the crucible and watched to see who would break. I won't be a part of this anymore. Not the company, not the family strategy. I'm done. This isn't a temporary storm out. This is a fundamental shift." Nick begins the process of formally severing his ties with Newman Enterprises, a move that sends shockwaves through the corporate landscape and leaves Victoria scrambling to fill the void. His confrontation forces the other Newmans to pick a side, with Victoria reluctantly defending Victor's endgame while Adam watches from the sidelines, a knowing and cynical smirk on his face. Claire's gambit, an unlikely advocate. While the Newmans war with each other, Claire Grace remains under the watchful, distrustful eye of the Abbott family. Trapped in a gilded cage at the Abbott mansion, she understands her tenuous position. Kyle Abbott remains her primary skeptic, seeing her as a lingering threat to his son, Harrison. But Claire is not without her resources, and her primary asset is her own intelligence and a genuine, if complicated, desire for connection. Seeing the fallout from Nick's departure, Claire makes a calculated push. She approaches Kyle, not with pleas, but with a startlingly astute business proposition. Having been raised in the shadow of corporate machinations with her Aunt Jordan, she has insights into global markets and asset management that are both unorthodox and brilliant. "I know you don't trust me, Kyle. I wouldn't trust me either," she states calmly. "But my life, for what it's worth, has been a lesson in reading people and predicting their moves. I have an idea for Jabot's European expansion, one that could outmaneuver the competition by anticipating Newman's next move." Kyle is, of course, resistant. But Diane, ever the strategist and someone who knows a thing or two about seeking redemption, urges him to listen. Claire's proposal is risky, but its sheer audacity intrigues Jack, who sees a flicker of his own rebellious business acumen in her. Claire's push isn't just for acceptance, it's a bid for utility. She knows that being useful is the first step toward being trusted. Crossed wires and new fires. Amidst the high-stakes family drama, love and lust continue to complicate matters. Sally Spectra, feeling adrift after her breakup with Adam and Nick's retreat into family chaos, finds a sympathetic ear in an unexpected place: Kyle Abbott. Their shared history and current professional frustrations, Sally with her design firm, Kyle with the pressures at Jabot, create a bond that begins to blur the lines of friendship. They are seen sharing intense, private conversations, leading to a moment of charged proximity that neither expected, but both momentarily entertain. At the same time, Adam Newman, ever the agent of chaos, sees an opportunity in the turmoil. With Nick distancing himself, Adam begins to subtly maneuver himself back into Victoria's good graces, positioning himself as the loyal, dependable brother she now desperately needs. His ultimate goal, however, remains shrouded in mystery. Is he genuinely seeking a place in the family, or is this the first move in a long game to claim the Newman throne for himself? Week 2, October 27th to 31st, All Hallows Eve. As Genoa City decorates with pumpkins and fake cobwebs, the real-life horrors and manipulations reach a fever pitch. The consequences of the previous week's actions come home to roost, and one character makes a decision that will alter their path forever. Nick's new frontier, a blast from the past. Free from the constraints of Newman Enterprises, Nick embraces his independence with a surprising new venture. He announces the launch of Nick Newman Enterprises, a boutique venture capital firm focused on funding Genoa City's small businesses and startups. His first client? A rejuvenated Sharon Rosales. Sharon, having successfully navigated her cancer treatment and with Kirsten Incorporated thriving, is looking to expand her mental health outreach programs. She and Nick decide to partner, combining his business savvy and her visionary compassion. As they work late nights, the familiar, comfortable chemistry between them ignites once more. They share a kiss, a tender, meaningful moment that feels like a homecoming rather than a betrayal. It's a clear signal that Nick is not just building a new company, he's building a new life, one centered on the values Victor has always scorned: empathy, second chances, and genuine connection. This development sends shockwaves through their respective relationships. Phyllis, who had seen Nick as her ticket back to relevance, is furious and feels cast aside. Meanwhile, Chance Chancellor, who has grown increasingly serious about Sharon, is left wondering where he stands. The simple, uncomplicated happiness he found with Sharon suddenly seems threatened by the powerful ghost of her past. Claire pushes too far. Emboldened by Jack's tentative support, Claire continues her campaign to prove her worth to the Abbotts. Her focus remains on winning over Kyle, whose approval she irrationally craves as a key to Harrison's life. She devises a plan to secure a major Jabot client, one that Kyle has been struggling with for months. Without consulting him, she arranges a meeting with the client, using her unique charm and sharp intellect to close a deal Kyle thought was lost. She presents the signed contract to a stunned Kyle, expecting gratitude. Instead, she is met with cold, furious rage. "You had no right," Kyle seethes, his voice trembling with anger. "This is my division, my responsibility. You swoop in here with your creepy, cultivated charm that you learned from. And you think this makes you one of us? This proves you don't understand boundaries. You don't understand family. You just take what you want." Claire is utterly shattered. Her push for acceptance has backfired spectacularly, reinforcing every negative opinion Kyle holds of her. Jack and Diane are caught in the middle, recognizing her talent, but alarmed by her methods. This critical failure forces Claire to a dark crossroads. Is redemption even possible for someone with her past? The rejection triggers a deep-seated survival instinct, and in a moment of despair, she is caught by the security cameras pocketing a sharp, antique letter opener from Jack's study, a chilling hint that the gentle, remorseful Claire may have a much darker, more dangerous side lying in wait. The corporate shadow war. The business rivalry between Newman and Jabot takes on a new, more personal dimension. Victoria, now with Adam as her whispering second-in-command, learns of Nick's partnership with Sharon. She sees it not as a personal choice, but as a declaration of corporate war, interpreting his support of Sharon's expansion as a direct challenge to Newman's interests. Simultaneously, Adam, playing his own game, leaks details of Claire's successful, but unauthorized, deal to the Newman side. Victor, upon hearing this, lets out a rare, genuine laugh. Jack Abbott has a viper in his nest, he tells Victoria. And he's too soft to see it. Victor begins to see a potential use for Claire's instability and ambition, setting the stage for a potential, unholy alliance down the line. The week culminates in a tense, masked Halloween party at the Genoa City Athletic Club. It's a classic soap opera setting where identities are hidden and truths are unmasked. Sally and Kyle, still navigating their confusing attraction, share a dance, their masks allowing a moment of raw honesty. "Who are you supposed to be?" Sally asks. "A man who has no idea what he's doing," Kyle replies, removing his mask and laying his vulnerability bare. Across the room, Nick and Sharon, having decided to explore their rekindled romance openly, attend together, a united front. Their happiness is a stark contrast to Victoria, who watches them from the balcony, a mask of corporate ice concealing a heart full of conflict and envy. The most dramatic moment of the night belongs to Claire. Having been uninvited by a furious Kyle, she watches the party from the shadows outside, her face a mask of loneliness and rejection. As she turns to leave, she comes face to face with none other than Victor Newman. He offers her a small, chilling smile. "Miss Grace," he says, his voice low. "It seems we are both on the outside looking in. Perhaps we should have a conversation." As the clock strikes midnight on October 31st, the masks come off, revealing the true faces of Genoa City's residents. Nick and Sharon, hopeful in their new beginning. Kyle, more conflicted than ever. Sally, tempted by a forbidden path. And Claire, standing at a precipice, with the most powerful and dangerous man in the city offering her a hand. The stage is set for a November filled with shocking alliances, broken hearts, and a battle for the very soul of the city's founding families. The Young and the Restless. YNR, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, October 27th to November 7th, reveal that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, will have a golden opportunity for Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, while Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, awakens and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, gets a scare. During the week of October 27th to 31st, Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, will fill Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, on his AI program thief problem while Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, tries to make sense of a weird dream. After Tessa imagines hitting the sheets with Daniel, she'll also dream about a cop showing up on her sweet doorstep hoping to arrest Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes. Once Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, informs Victor that she's hacked the AI program away from Kane, he'll go along with her pitch for a deal. While Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, clobbers Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, in front of Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, and Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, will make their way to Los Angeles. YNR spoilers say Noah will still be comatose in the hospital, but Victoria and Nikki can extend their support to Sharon and Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, as they await more medical info. Of course, Nikki and Victoria will want to seek out Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, while they're in town, but Claire will mostly focus on Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, and the good time they're having. Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, hinted about possibly giving Kyle Abbott Michael Mealer, dirt on Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, but Kyle may have to work a bit harder for it since he'll grill Sienna soon enough. In the meantime, Victor will have a proposition for Michael to consider. It turns out Victor will present Michael with a golden opportunity, one he may not be able to pass up. Victor will push Michael to take the second chance he's offering, so Michael might risk provoking Lauren Fenmore Baldwin's, Tracy E. Bregman, wrath again by going for it. However, it's also possible Michael will balk at the brewing Jabot attack and feel he can't be part of what's to come. After Kane updates Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, on his stolen software, they'll prepare for whatever Victor might throw their way. While Kyle pulls out all the stops for Harrison Abbott's Reading Munsell Halloween celebration, Sharon will hunt for risky info related to Noah's crash. That could bring a close call for Sharon since she'll end up in some danger that could spill over into the week of November 3rd to 7th. If someone tries to wipe Sharon off the map too, Nick may fear the worst and vow to protect her no matter what. On another note, Lucas Adams is set to make his debut as Noah Newman starting November 4th. Once this recast hits the screen, it won't be long until Noah comes out of his coma. That'll give Sharon and Nick something to celebrate along with the rest of the Newman clan, but there'll still be questions about Noah's wreck and who's responsible. As for Sienna, she'll finally have a chance to confront Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, about going MIA on her. Roger Howarth is set to make his debut as Mitch soon, so he'll make it back to the Shadow Room and face Sienna's grilling session. Sienna will give Mitch news, all the Genoa City key players who have been coming out of the woodwork following Noah's crash. Mitch will have to answer Sienna's questions and calm her down since she'll be pretty freaked out. As for Victor and Jack, their feud is about to reach a whole new level thanks to Kane's stolen AI program and all the conflict that's been building to this point. Phyllis will pat herself on the back for the bold moves she's been making, but will she live to regret them? The Young and the Restless spoilers say Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and Christine Blair's Laura Lee Bell wedding is also just around the corner, so stay tuned for any last-minute snags. The Young and the Restless. YNR, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, October 27th to November 7th, reveal that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, will have a golden opportunity for Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, while Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, awakens and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, gets a scare. During the week of October 27th to 31st, Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, will fill Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, on his AI program thief problem while Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks,